As you come to a comfortable seat on your mat with your hands, maybe cupping your kneecaps, just start by rolling your shoulders up by your earlobes and then down your spine. You can do that a couple of times. And go the opposite direction, the direction that seems maybe a little bit unnatural. So roll your shoulders forward. And soften your shoulders completely away from your earlobes. And keep your chin level with the earth, but roll your shoulder blades back towards your spine. And allow that softness to carry down your shoulders to your upper arms, elbows, and the palms of your hands. And notice how your body reacts to being still, even for just a few moments. Continue to soften the muscles in your face, especially your jaw. And as you take a few slow and quiet breaths, allow the breath to pour into the chest and belly. Take about 3 or so rounds of breath here in just a simple seated meditation. So keep your breath and body soft and just start by blinking open your eyes. Just take a look into your lap and make sure that your right shin is in front of your left. So if you're already sitting that way, stay. If not, just change, and we're going to keep changing as we flow. Make sure that you have enough room towards your right side, and then take your right finger pads towards your right. Keep them tented and sweep your left arm up and overhead. Just a simple side bend. So press down into your right finger pads and stretch your left finger pads up and overhead. And now rotate your torso underneath your upper arm and lean back slightly. Inhale here. And as you exhale, just start to rotate your torso forward and towards the earth, but keep your arm elevated and gaze towards your right finger pads. Your left elbow bends. Inhale, press into your right finger pads. Rotate your torso and gaze up. And then exhale, start to turn down. Keep your sitting bones anchored. And do this one more time. Inhale, start to wake up all throughout your lower left side body. And this time as you exhale, as you rotate your torso down, place your left finger pads down, maybe slightly in front of your right knee, and then walk your right finger pads out as well. Keep your finger pads tented, pull your chin forward. And as you exhale, soften your palms, and then maybe your forearms come down or they hover towards the earth. And keep your sitting bones, especially your left sitting bone, anchored down. Come up onto your finger pads, walk them towards you, towards your right kneecap, and come up for a seated spinal twist. Your left hand comes to the outside of your right knee and swivel your right finger pads behind you. Inhale, press down into your hands, lift the crown of your head up. And then exhale, twist, look past your right shoulder. And as you twist from your lower belly, just try to do this without forcing anything. And then gaze forward. Lean back and change the cross of your leg so that your left shin is in front. Left finger pads by your left, and make sure that you have enough room by your side, and sweep your right arm up and overhead. And as you press down into your left finger pads, push up through your right, and then lean back slightly as you rotate your torso to face the ceiling. Keep your sitting bones anchored and take a huge breath in. And then exhale, just start to rotate your torso and gaze down towards your left kneecap. And do this pulsation 3 times, starting to rotate, gazing up, and then exhale, gaze down. 2 more on your own. One more. And this time as you exhale, wave your right arm down and let your finger pads come down. And then bring your left hand to meet your right and stretch forward. Pull your chin forward, keeping your sitting bones anchored. And now as you exhale, soften down. So prioritize keeping your sitting bones anchored as you stretch forward by your fingernails. Come up onto your finger pads, gaze forward, walk your hands towards your left kneecap, and come up for a seated spinal twist on this side. So your right hand cups the outside of your left kneecap, swivel your left finger pads behind you. And before you twist, press down, lift the crown of your head up, and then exhale, twist, look past your left shoulder. One more round of breath. Keep twisting from your low belly. And then slowly gaze forward. Place your palms in front of your shins. Roll over your shins and come to a hands and knees position or tabletop. And if you have a blanket and you're on a hardwood surface, you can always pad your knees if you need to. Or just stay on your mat. Tuck all 10 of your toes. Spread your fingers wide and place your palms underneath your shoulders. Tailbone presses back and the crown of your head forward. Gaze towards the front of your mat space. And as you inhale, tip your sitting bones up. Soften your belly and pull your heart forward through the pillars of your arms. Exhale, press into your hands, knees, and toes. Round your spine and gaze behind you. And so just keep going. This movement of cat-cow that we all know. As we explore this movement of our spine, just notice how the crown of your head and your tailbone mirror one another. One more round. Notice how on the inhale, they tip up towards the ceiling. And the exhale, the crown of your head and your tailbone point down. On your next inhale, come into a neutral tabletop position. Okay, untuck your toes. We're gonna move into a foot and a calf smush. So I'll face away from you just in case you have not done this with me before. So keep your shins parallel to one another to start. Your left shin will stay parallel. Pick up your right foot and swivel your right foot on top of your left. Okay, I'll do that again. So your right foot lifts, swivel it, and place your right foot on top of your left. And then from here, start to sit back onto your heels as if you were coming into a child's pose. Okay. And then notice what you feel here. See if you can keep your left toes relaxed, gaze forward, and assess if you want to go further or stay. If you want to go further, start by walking your hands towards you and coming up to a sitting position, as if you were coming into a toes pose. And relax your ankles and your toes and the expression on your face. And remain calm. The practice today is going to focus on the lower body from the hips down. And from here, start to walk your hands forward. Shift your hips forward. Okay, so we're going to go into the calf smush from here before we repeat this on the other side. And so notice that your right toes are still angled. Pick them up once again, but then just keep going. So swivel so that your right shin bone comes right on top of the belly of your left calf. Okay, I'll say that again. Lift up your right foot, swivel it so that the bony section of your right shin comes right on the top of your left calf muscle. Okay, so it's a little bit higher up. And then start to sit back. And now notice, you're not going to be able to sit up as much because this is more intense. Imagine you're using your own body as like a massage tool. If you want to go further, just start by walking your hands towards you, but just be slow. Take your time. This muscle along our calf tends to be really tense, and most of us are super active. So just breathe here. Use the breath as a tool to release all of these muscles. Slowly walk your hands forward and shift forward, and then swivel your right toes so that they're once again parallel to one another, shins parallel. You're coming into that tabletop position with your toes untucked. Let's do that on the other side. Pick up your left toes, swivel your left foot so it rests nicely on your right foot. Sit back. Make your decision. So you can stay exactly as you are or walk your hands towards you to sit up. Again, do all of this without strain or forcing anything. If you notice that you're clenching your jaw, you're going too far. Relax the toes on your right foot. Walk your hands forward. Shift forward and come into that calf smush. Pick up your left foot and swivel it so it comes higher up. And let your left calf, left shin rest on the belly of your right calf. And then sit back. And note that our bodies are not symmetrical. So one side might feel a little bit more intense than the other. So go slow. You're doing great. One more round of breath. Shift forward. Uncross your shin bones and come back into a tabletop position with your toes untucked. Okay, so now listen carefully. We're going to come into a cow and cat spine, but we're going to do something a little bit different. As you inhale, tip your sitting bones up, soften your belly and pull your heart forward. And again, your toes are untucked. As you exhale, press into your hands, knees, and the tops of your feet, round your spine, and perhaps lift up your knees 1 centimeter. Set them down and do that again. Inhale through cow. And then exhale, round through cat. And then press down so much, maybe you can lift up your knees 1 centimeter. So essentially, this is an exercise for the tops of your ankles. One more. Even if you're not lifting your knees, feel as though you're pressing down so much that you could do so. Set your knees down. Come back into a tabletop. Bring your big toes to touch. Separate your knees towards the edges of your mat. Sit your hips back. Walk your hands forward. Keep your arms active so that your elbows are elevated. Gaze in between your thumbs. See if you can hover your chest maybe a few inches off the earth. On your next inhale, glide forward. And then maybe shoulders over a wrist or maybe slightly beyond so you can pick up the tops of your feet and let your hips rest down. for King Cobra. And then exhale, sit back to a child's pose with the arms active. Inhale, glide forward. And again, lifting up the toes is optional. And then exhale, sit back. One more. Just waking up the pelvis and the psoas. And then exhale, stay here in a child's pose. Soften your palms, forearms and elbows down. So we're going to continue waking up our ankles. And now we're going to focus a little bit more on the Achilles. So gaze forward, shift forward, and see if you can tuck your toes, but keep the balls of your feet together. Walk your hands slightly towards you. And so now move carefully because the range of motion for all of us is a little bit different. Can you keep walking your hands towards you? Feet slightly separated and pick up your knees. And then see if you can I'll face away from you. It's a little bit hard to see if you are not in the same room as me, but your heels are together and your arches are elevated. The balls of your feet are down. Okay? So it looks something like this. Okay? Walk your hands forward. So this is Malasana variation C. Walk your hands towards you. And then see if you can separate your feet now so that they're a little bit wider and set your heels down. So you're in a more traditional yogic squat or Malasana. Okay? And a block is always available if you need it. And then from here, set your hands wider and tent your fingers. And then see if you can just rock from side to side. You're gonna feel this along your Achilles. So you're putting weight towards one foot and then the other. And you can also do this with your seat down. You don't have to necessarily be in a yogic squat. Okay. Now, coming out of this is a little bit more tricky. You can just bring your seat down, or you can just walk forward and set your knees down. So make your decision as you come back into a tabletop position. Okay. This time, keep your toes tucked and slide your right toes behind you. Okay. Swivel your left toes behind you like a kickstand and pivot your right foot so it's parallel to the back edge of your mat. On your next inhale, wave your right arm directly up for a modified side plank. Stretch up through your right fingernails and lean back slightly. And breathe here, press down into your left palm and come out of the left shoulder. And stay here, or maybe pick up your right foot so it's level with your hip. Stay here, or bend your right knee and suck the right heel in and reach for the outside of your right foot. Keep rolling the right shoulder back. Gaze up. One more round of breath. Release your right foot without flinging it. Return back. Raise your right arm up. And then exhale, set your right foot down. Lower your right palm and adjust your left foot and your right heel up. So you're in this modified half spinal balance. Gaze forward. Press down into your palms. Shift your weight back so that your right heel hovers towards the earth. And then pick up your left knee. So it's as if you were coming into a downward facing dog, but your left knee is bent. Kind of like a mountain climber shape of your body. And this might feel really good after that calf smush. Just breathe here. And slowly lower your left knee down. And then tuck your right knee underneath you. Come back into a tabletop position. Let's do that little sequence on the other side. Stretch your left heel back behind you. Make your way into a modified side plank. So kickstand your right toes behind you and pivot your left foot. Inhale, wave your left arm directly up. And again, coming out of the right shoulder is key. So stretch up by your left fingernails, lean back slightly. So if you'd like, you can maybe shift forward slightly and pick up the left foot. You'll notice the activation in your left glutes, and you can stay here or bend your left knee, suck the left heel in, reach for the outside of your left foot. Keep rolling the left shoulder back. One more full round of breath here. Release the left foot without flinging it, and come back slowly. And then lower your left foot down. Return back into that modified half spinal balance. Adjust your feet and heels. Gaze forward and press down into your hands. Shift your weight back so that your left heel hovers, and peel your right knee directly up. Gaze behind you. Breathe into the calf stretch on this side. And set your right knee down and come back into tabletop. Okay, walk your hands forward a handprint, and I promise we'll get off of our wrists in a moment. Press into your hands with your toes tucked. Lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. And keep your knees super bent and draw your low belly towards your upper thighs. Lift up by your tailbone. Externally rotate your upper arm so that your elbow creases face forward, and then start to soften your heels down, but keep your knees bent. Beautiful. Take another round of breath or two here. On your next inhale, gaze forward between your thumbs. And as you exhale, slowly make your way to the top of your space for a forward fold. Keep your feet hips width distance apart. Bend your knees, let your belly rest on your thighs, and then pour your weight forward. Use the leverage of pressing down into your feet, lifting your sitting bones up and drawing the crown of your head down. You can clasp behind your shins or ankles, or perhaps opposite hand to elbow point. Breathe into the backs of your legs for another round of breath or two. And release whatever you have. Maybe it's your legs or your arms. Press down into your feet and take 2 to 3 rounds of breath to slowly roll all the way up to a standing position. Lead with the back of your heart and allow the crown of your head to rise last. Once your spine is vertical, roll your shoulders up by your ears and down your back, and the palms face forward. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. And then exhale, plant your palms together and pour your weight forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands on shins or thighs, gaze forward. Exhale, fold. Okay, so now if you have a block, it might come in handy just to elevate the earth and for stability. If you don't have one, that's okay. So from here, you're at a standing position at the top of your mat. Bend your knees and take your right foot and cross it over your left. Right foot over left, and I'm gonna mirror you here. Okay, and so from here, I'll turn to face the side. Bend your knees, and almost like you were doing an Utkatasana chair pose, I want you to pull your tailbone away from you. Keep your knees bent so much that you can plant both of your feet. And now push your butt back behind you. You're gonna feel this stretch all along the backs of your legs. So your legs are straight-ish, I like to say. Prioritize planting both of your feet down. And your fingertips are either on blocks or on the earth. It's an Uttanasana with your legs crossed. Okay, so now start to bend your knees to gaze forward. And now your left leg is tucked behind your right. So you're gonna take your left leg, and you can watch me for this first round, and you're gonna slide your left leg towards your right, almost like a crossed position. Okay, so it kind of looks like this, and it looks like this from the front, okay? And again, a block might be great for your hand in a moment. So it's almost like a speed skater shape. Okay, so your right foot is in front and your left leg is behind you and towards the back right corner of your mat. Gaze forward. Take your right hand like a crab claw around your right hip. And then kind of pull your right hip back, gaze towards your right, and then behind you towards your left foot. You should feel a huge stretch along your hip and then outer glute. Gaze forward and set your right hand down. So now from here, take your left foot and then just keep swiveling it behind you for a low lunge position. But dial your left heel down and then move your right foot out to the right so that your hands are along the inside of your right foot. You're in a low warrior one position. And so now from here, gaze forward, keep bending into your right knee, look towards the front of your mat or the room. And then now start to push back. So bend into your left knee, make sure that it can bend, and then walk your hands back towards your left foot. And then maybe pick up your right foot. So you're in this low skandasana position. Your left knee is bent and now your right leg is straight and you're gazing forward. On your next inhale, start to walk forward into a low lunge position. And then exhale, start to walk back slightly, bend into your left knee, pick up your right foot, low skandasana. Do one more like that. Inhale. And then exhale. So you don't have to go too far. On your next inhale, walk forward, plant your hands, and then scoot your right foot so it's in between your palms and pick up your left heel, low lunge. Press into your palms and step your right foot back to meet your left for a plank position, top of a push-up. Adjust your feet, press your heels back and the crown of your head forward. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, listen carefully, lower your knees down, bend your elbows in and lower your chest and chin down. Keep your tailbone elevated. So you're in this kind of awkward position. Untuck your toes and slide forward. Hands level with your chest. Roll your shoulders up by your ears and down your spine. Press into the tops of your feet. Inhale, raise your chest up, low cobra. Exhale, lower down. Tuck your toes. Press up through hands and knees. And then exhale, downward facing dog. And so that sequence will repeat on the other side, but maybe it'll be a little bit more familiar to you. On your next inhale, gaze forward. And then exhale, tiptoe your way towards the top of your mat. This time, cross your left leg over your right. Bend your knees. And then push your tailbone back, gaze forward. And now push into your feet and slide your butt back and up. Good. So again, your left leg is in front, right leg behind. And now bend your knees and your right leg, which is behind, start to slide it towards the back left corner of your mat, as if you were a speed skater. So you're on the outside edge of your right foot. Left hand like a crab claw around your hip. And then start to bring your left hip back. And then gaze behind you, maybe towards your right foot. And a block might be handy underneath your right hand. Breathe into the outside of your left glute and hip. Big musculature. Gaze forward, lower your right hand, and then just start to swivel your right foot behind you to a low lunge, and you'll adjust all the things to make your way to a low warrior one. So lower your right heel down, left foot towards the left, so that the hands are along the inside of your left foot and gaze forward. And I'm gonna do this from this side view in case you need to see it. Gaze forward, and then just start to bend your right knee. Make sure it can bend and walk your hands back a couple of handprints and lift up your left foot. And then just keep going. Low warrior one on the inhale, bend into your left knee, right leg is straight. Exhale, walk it back. And you can keep a slight bend of the left leg so it doesn't lock out. One more. And this time as you inhale, come into a low warrior one. Plant your your left foot in between your palms. Swivel your right heel up, low lunge. Press into your palms and step your left foot back to meet your right for a plank. And then exhale, come into that knees, chest, chin position. So knees down, hug your elbows in and lower your chest and chin down. Inhale, slide forward. And then raise your chest and chin up for low cobra. And then exhale, soften down. Tuck your toes. Press up through hands and knees, or this time, maybe plank. And then exhale, downward facing dog. So we're gonna add on to that sequence. We're not gonna hold it as long, but you know the sequence now. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, make your way towards the top of your mat for a forward fold. This time, right foot crosses over left. Press into your feet, bend your knees, gaze forward. And then exhale, start to straighten your legs and hinge forward. So everything is going to be just one round of breath of a hold. Come up onto your finger pads, gaze forward. Bend your knees and slide your left foot back for this low speed skater shape. Right hand along your hip, and then gaze behind you towards your left foot. One round of breath. Inhale, gaze forward, plant your palms, and make your way into that low warrior one shape. And there's no rush. So adjust all of the things, lower your left heel, and swivel your right foot to the edge of your mat, hands along the inside. And we're gonna do just one round of pressing yourself back into this low skandasana, bending into the left knee, straightening the right, and then walking forward. Okay, from here, if you have a block, it might be handy for the inside of your right foot. If not, you can be on fingertips or maybe even like a thermos. It doesn't matter. Okay, it's more for stability. Take your right fingertips along the inside of your right foot, left hand on your hip crease. Okay, so this alignment is key. So I want you to keep gazing forward and feel like your heart were pulling forward. And now start to rotate your torso towards the left, maybe gaze up, but see if you can not stack your hips. So your hips are more facing forward as opposed to left hip stacking over right. This is a closed hip, extended side angle. Just breathe here. Keep rolling the left shoulder back. Notice what this feels like. It must feel different than you normally practice. And now with your right hand on the earth or on a block, press into your right foot and start to straighten your right leg. A closed hip triangle shape. Breathe into the back of your right leg. So you're rotating from your rib cage, but the hips are facing down-ish. On your next inhale, rebend your right knee and gaze forward. Plant your palms and scoot your right foot in between your palms. Lift up your left heel. Inhale, step back to a plank. Exhale, lower your knees, chest and chin down. Inhale, glide forward, low cobra. Exhale, soften down. Tuck your toes. Press up through hands and knees or plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Inhale, gaze forward. And as you exhale, make your way to the top of your space. So let's do that on the other side. And cross your left foot this time over your right. Bend your knees and then push your butt back behind you as you straighten your legs. One round of breath in the crossed leg Uttanasana. Bend your knees and then slide your right foot back towards the back left corner of your mat space. Left hand along your hip crease and gaze behind you. And just recognize that you don't have to do it exactly as I'm doing. So many of these shapes are just totally made up. So no worries. There's nothing to say that your version is no better or worse than mine. Make your way into a low warrior one shape, moving your right foot back, swiveling the heel, and moving the left foot out. Hands along the inside of your left foot, gaze forward. In just one round, walking the hands back, picking up the left foot, gazing forward, and then exhale, walking forward. And again, here's that place where a block might be handy underneath the left hand, which is in the inside of your left foot. Right hand on your hip crease, gaze forward, and then rotate from your rib cage over to the right. Roll the shoulder back, but see if you can keep your hips facing forward-ish. It's okay if they roll up slightly, but it's just not that deliberate hip stack. And keep your left knee facing forward, and now push into your left foot. Start to straighten through the left leg, and you should feel a huge stretch in the space where your hip and your glutes meet. And bend into your left knee, gaze forward, release your hands. Adjust your left foot in between your hands. Pick up your right heel, low lunge. Step your left foot back to meet your right foot plank. Exhale, lower your knees, chest and chin down. Inhale, glide forward to cobra. And then this time as you exhale, soften your chest and chin down. Stack your palms underneath your forehead like a pillow, and then rest in a pranam, a full body bow. Just take a few slow breaths here. We have one more of that little flow to do with some variation. You're doing great. So from here, pick up your forehead and slide your palms underneath your shoulders and tuck your toes. Press up through hands and knees or plank. If you're pushing up to plank, make sure that you're hugging the elbows in. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, make your way to the top of your space. Okay, so for time's sake, let's just step your left foot back behind you and swivel the heel and move the right foot out to the right slightly. So you're in this low warrior one. Okay. One round, walk the hands back towards you, bend into your left knee for a low skandasana. Exhale, step forward so that you're in this low warrior one. Okay, and now from here, start to swivel your feet to the sides of your mat. So you're in this prasarita position, this wide-legged forward fold, feet about in line with one another. Press into your finger pads, tailbone back, and the crown of your head forward for a long spine. Exhale, bend your elbows and soften down. Just pause here, breathe into the backs of your legs. Press into your palms, gaze forward. Okay, and so now from here, we're gonna repeat that very simple sequence on the left. Walk your hands back towards your left foot. Swivel your left heel back and adjust your right foot. So you're in a low warrior one on the right. So you're facing Colfax or away from the screen. And then now bend your right knee, shift back just one round. And then exhale, shift forward. Okay. And now turn your toes one last time to face the side of your mat for a wide-legged forward fold. Gaze forward. And now this time, bend into your right knee. Make sure the knee points forward. Gaze to the left. Come up towards center. Bend your left knee and gaze to the right. And keep going. So it's this more traditional modified skandasana. And as we move from the right to the left, if you want, you can pick up the ball of one foot as you gaze to that direction and then switch. So just make your decision. Explore your depth here. Just go from one side to the other. Okay, and then pause in a wide-legged forward fold. Heel toe your feet towards one another. Bend your knees, and then just come back to a tabletop position on your mat. Swivel yourself so you're facing forward. And you can always have a blanket underneath your knees from here. Okay. And so from here, let's tuck our toes to begin and bring your knees and toes slightly closer to one another. On your next inhale, raise your right foot up. And then exhale, tuck your right knee behind your left. Okay, so I'll say that again. Raise your right foot, tuck your right knee behind your left. And now, in this moment, untuck your toes and swivel your heels wide. Squeeze your inner thighs and knees together. Shift back. Walk your hands forward. And let your seat hover towards the earth. Don't force it down. On your next inhale, shift forward. And then exhale, keep squeezing your inner thighs as you shift your butt back behind you. And do one more like that. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, shift forward. And then bring your shins together, uncross your knees, and set your knees together for this narrow tabletop position. Let's do this on the other side. Raise your left foot up and then cross your left knee behind your right. Swivel your heels, squeeze your inner thighs together, walk your palms forward, and then shift back. Inhale, glide forward. And exhale, pulse back. So it's like this Gomukhsan pulse, similar to a child's pose, but our legs are crossed. One more. And this time, shift forward, uncross your knees, and then swivel your heels to one side and come to sit up. Okay. All right, so your feet are in front of you. Scoop underneath your knees and come onto the balls of your feet. So lift up your heels, lean back slightly, roll your shoulders back. So you're perched on your sitting bones. And then maybe using the strength of your core, so zip your pubic bone towards your navel, you can pick up your feet so that your shins are parallel to the earth. You can also do this one foot at a time. Unclench your jaw and relax the expression on your face. Set your feet down. Okay, and so we've done this a ton of work along our lower body. So I want to see if we can do this. So you can just lower your left knee down, and I'm going to mirror you here. Okay, and then from here, bring your right arm along the inside of your right kneecap. Take your peace sign fingers and loop your big toe and pull your toes towards you. So you're on your right heel. Left hand like a kickstand behind you. And then as if you were coming into this half happy baby shape, lean back and pick up your right foot. So the shin is parallel. So keep hugging the knee and the outer arm towards one another. And then maybe stay here, or maybe push out through the heel and start to straighten the leg. And so the arm and the leg will separate. Maybe the arm straightens. And then breathe here. Lengthen through the crown of your head and push out through the heel. And bend your right knee and set it down. And do that on the other side. So right hand like a kickstand. And then reach so that your right shoulder is along the inside of your left knee. Big toes looped around by your fingertips. Lean back, pick up your toes, and pick up your shin. And again, you can always just stay here or push out through your left heel and start to straighten the leg. Good. Set the foot down. Okay. Let's just do one thing fun. And you set both feet in front of you. So a little bit wider. Okay. Lean forward. And so you're going to snuggle your knees against your outer shoulders. Good. Pick up your feet so your heels are down. Loop the big toes with your peace sign fingers. Lean back slightly. Walk the heels in. Okay. And so there's a ton of strength generated from pressing down into your sitting bones, lifting the crown of your head. Maybe lift up one heel. Maybe the other. You can do this one foot at a time too, right? Both. If you have both, keep pressing up through the heels. Maybe straighten the legs, pushing up through the heels. And then breathe here. Good. And then slowly lower your heels down without slamming them down in frustration. Okay, and lay back. So that's Upavishta Konasana B. And lay down. That's enough of that. I just figured we were so warmed up for it, so let's just try it. Let's come into a constructive rest, feet wide and knees together. Bring your hands to your low belly. And I promise from here on out, we're just relaxing, just breathing. Start to heel toe your feet together. Keep your left foot bent or left knee bent. And then bring your right knee in towards you. Interlace your fingers behind your right thigh. Flex your right foot and push up through your right foot. Straighten your arms. So your left thigh is pushing into the palms of your hands, and bring your right hip down. Stay here or straighten the left leg out in front of you. So your legs are making about a 90-degree angle. Prioritize flexing both of your feet. Just breathe into the back of your leg. You're doing great. Bend your left knee, return it back to where it was. And as you bend your right knee, cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Flex your foot. Supine figure 4. Take your right palm against the inside of your right thigh and push your thigh and knee away from you. So you're widening the space around your hip crease. And so from here, just start to cross your right leg over your left like you were sitting in a chair. Right leg over left. And gather your thighs in towards you. Swivel your heels wide and clasp the front of your shins. Hug your inner thighs together. We've been here before. This Gomukhasana shape, but now we're on our spine. Knees stacked, inner thighs hug in. And heels come close towards you. Release your shins and set your left foot down, but keep your legs crossed if possible. Scoot your hips to the left 1 inch. And if you can, keep your legs crossed and bring them to the left, pinning your left leg underneath your right. And if you're here and you're like, this is really uncomfortable, just uncross your legs and stack your right knee over your left. So this is one of my favorite closing sequences that targets the outer hip and glute and the hip crease. That deep musculature around the outer hips. Roll onto your back and uncross your legs if they're crossed. Set your feet down. Let's do that on the other side. So make sure that your hips are in the middle of your mat and draw your left thigh in. Interlace your fingers behind your left thigh and push up through your left heel. Flex your foot. Push your left thigh into the palms of your hands. And maybe straighten the right leg. Rebend your right knee and then cross your left ankle over your right thigh for a supine figure 4 shape of the body. Press your palm against your inner left thigh. And then fully cross your left leg over your right, as if you were sitting in a chair with your legs crossed. And gather your thighs in. Swivel your heels wide and clasp the front of your shins. Hug your inner thighs towards one another. Release your shins and set your right foot down. Scoot your hips 1 inch to the left, and keeping your legs crossed, or not, bring your knees to the right. Make your way onto your back. When you're ready, uncross your legs. Set your feet down. Adjust your hips to the middle of your mat. Gather your knees in towards your chest. Wrap your hands around your shins. Press your low back down. And you can stay here or come into a happy baby, flexing your feet and reaching for the outside edges with your fingers. And just note that we've been here before, in a similar position when we were seated. Release your feet and bring your knees together. Anchor your low back down and peel the back of your head up. Bring your nose towards your kneecaps and take a huge breath in. And as you exhale, release your legs and your arms for Shivasan. And soften your shoulders away from your earlobes. Broaden through your collarbone. Widen the space between your eyebrows. Soften your cheekbones and your jaw. Relax your chest and belly. Allow your whole body to sink down like in sand. And I'll call you back momentarily. For now, just breathe here. So you can keep your body relaxed and your eyes closed. Notice the surging flow of breath as it pours into your chest and belly. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Stretch your arms up and overhead. Gather your knees in towards your chest and roll to one side. And pause here in a fetal position. Press your palms into the earth and come up to sitting. Once you're seated, swivel your hands on top of your heart in Swabhava Mudra, hooking the thumbs and spreading your fingers across your chest. Breathe into the base of your hands. And as we bow our head towards our heart, we honor one another. And when you're ready, lift your gaze